Hi, type clitters.
I just had a couple of glasses of wine to help me do this post better. See my variable teeth? Okay. I'm posting because someone recently asked us if we've ever had any like real breakthroughs using the Enneagram in our process. And I feel like I've had many breakthroughs. And I just happen to have had one today. So I'm sharing. Also, this is a response to a general interest that I find when people consider taking me seriously about my typing. Um, so, and I've posted before a video about my experience as SX1. Now, at the time, I was mostly hanging out in an Enneagram group that is socially primitive. And the people there were determined to suppose that I'm super scary, unhealthy Enneagram 2. I tried it on. I even tried it on for about 6 months. Even after I posted about my experiences SX1, they were like, "Oh no, you're just like my mom. You suck." So anyway, since that time, I've just continued to deepen in my Enneagram study, and I'm taking multiple certification programs. And yeah, I'm clear. SX1 is my type, 2 is my wing, as I suspected. So SXSO, or SC, if you will. So today, what happened? So SX1 is at the intersection of one's what people consider morality, but what I experience as ethics, and the SX instinct. So that is experienced by me as in the intersection of not sinning, not cheating, doing everything perfectly, and the SX instinct, which is about attraction and uh, and partnering and union and this kind of spiritual final coming together of a partnership. So let's see, where should I start? Today, we're just going to start here because they're asking what kind of insight have you had? Today's the insight. It's not a completely novel insight, but the insight has landed in my physicality today. And I was at a body work place. I finally made the time, space, etc., to go to a guy who's super woo and like kind of telling me all kinds of things about my body from the outside and talking to my parts and empathizing with them. And it didn't all feel right on by any means. But specifically what I want to note is that and when as the point of focus was here in my upper chest, on the back, my back especially, but also in the front. And I have chronic pain, have had chronic pain there since I was 16. He happened to recognize it without me saying which part of my body it was. And so I've just had like this kind of, can't see with my hair, hunch posture like this. And I'm constantly trying to figure out how to move my shoulders in a way that rectifies the problem because I have this intense back pain. It really affects my life. And like I said, it started when I was 16 years old. And that was a long time ago. I'm 43 now. I've known that I've recognized in my search through the, in my understanding of my Enneagram situation, cage, that it was important to me to never cheat around attracting others. I would never be caught dead trying to allure someone with any kind of physicality based attraction. Um, and so when other people might perhaps stick out their boobs or their butt or something explicitly sexual, I would secretly uh, judge them. And it's a secret because my oneness doesn't want to be caught dead judging either. Uh, and in protection of my own integrity, the solution has been to definitely not be doing that. And so, yes, I do have breasts. I can't help it, but they're no, don't nobody notice them. I mean, there's nothing about them to notice, right? If you love me and you're attracted to me, it is not because I showed you my boobs. So this guy, the body worker, was working on this area, and he was speaking posture or to my posture situation and supposing that what I was dealing with conventionally or whatever, typically or whatever he was, I don't know if he was inferring or if he knows something I don't know. But the way he interpreted the situation was that a part of my experience is not liking myself. And I will confess that on no level of my conscious awareness or even semi conscious awareness is that a match. So, but what was a match for me is I will not show off my boobs. That's cheating. Yeah, in my session with him anyway, blah, 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 blah. During the whole session, I continued to feel this pain and like, oh, this is really the secret judge. This is so stupid. This is just obviously stupid. Oh, but I'm going to try to be, I'm going to be super open minded. I'm going to be super open minded. I'm super open minded. Yeah. So I kind of spoke up to him, defended against the wrong interpretation of my experience, like as I was leaving, that this is actually about me not wanting to cheat by sticking out my breasts. And then as I left today, I I started to understand more in my physicality somehow, the coming out of my shoulders. I've been experimenting for years about like forcibly moving my shoulders backwards, and what happens is I get all kinds of other contractions in my back, and I still have back pain, and what the hell? And there are some things that I do in yoga, if I do yoga, which I hate, but sometimes when I have done yoga, it has made my back pain dissipate. I skate roller derby. When I do roller derby, we have to shine our headlights. Um, that's has to do with our posture when we're like squatted down but facing forward. My back doesn't hurt at derby, and when I'm in reading pose in yoga, which is where you're laying down but also having your elbows up, down, and then like posture up, my back doesn't hurt. So there are times my back doesn't hurt, but I haven't been able to figure it out, and I can't meditate anymore, and it's pretty distressing. It's been my soul's number one challenge for years, increasingly, more intensely. I'm sorry it's so long. Um, but today, I'm just, after talking back to this guy, that's what it felt like in my experience, after explaining to him, no, it's not about self esteem. It's about, upholding my integrity as a non cheating potential partner. Uh, that I wouldn't stick out my boobs. And I realized that I just need to stick out my boobs. And I've kind of realized this before, but somehow now it was it landed more in my physicality. So sticking out my boobs, like it all disappears. All of the pain immediately subsides. And so the pain all in my back subsides. Also, pain that I've had in my left under rib area for most of a decade, not present. And it's really hard for me. As soon as I stick my boobs out, the word boobs turns into titties because I am my super ego, egoically. My super ego says, stick out your titties. And then I have to grapple with all of the social context of uh, me showing off my titties. I drive a school bus. It's one of my jobs. So I'm here on the bus, I'm driving the bus, and I'm sticking out my titties. And the ethics are all like, la, 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 la. You can't be a sexual being at work. And then I'm like, no, it's my physicality. I won't ever be able to experience comfort if I can't just be in the correct posture. And so then I'm just here sticking out my titties. So this is the one's edge, but I just have to confess that I don't have any back pain right now. I feel shy sharing it. I feel my headset just did thing. There's a sense of certainty that people will be just laughing at me or totally bored and click away. That's fine. Go ahead and click away. But this is my challenge and my breakthrough. I've got to get used to showing my titties. And as far as my ego structure is concerned, it makes me worthy of rejection. It makes me unworthy of any potential mate, especially the most heavenly and prepared mate. The idea, the sense in my being is that it's being as in the being I'm accustomed to being, which is the egoic self. My egoic self is convinced, is unconsciously convinced that when he, capital H, comes into my life, he will see me sticking out my titties and he will know that I am not her because I want to be seen sexually. So I'm old enough, far along enough in my process that I'm willing for even capital H him to reject me because it looks like I'm trying to attract him. Okay, so I will now conclude this video.